right, this is part 2 of Sex is Not Free. You're married. And like I said before, when I start out, the reason I'm reading out Deuteronomy, I want us to go back and understand how Jesus considered marriage and how important sex is to the Lord. It's just not something that we should do. Although, I did it when I was younger, but I was wrong. I didn't have an understanding of the Word of God. And I don't know if that time in my life not living for the Lord would it have made a difference. I don't know. But I'm telling you now because I know better. And I was talking about in Deuteronomy chapter 22, and I'm at verse 23. It's talking about betrothal, what we call today engagement. Betrothal. You're betrothed to someone. You're promised to them. You're engaged to them. Right? It says, verse 23, Deuteronomy 22, if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto her husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. This is under the law of Moses. This is not the way it should be. I'm just reading to you about how important sex was and is to the Lord. All right, and a man find her in the city and lie with her. Then you shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and you shall stone them with stones, that they die. The damsel because she cried not, being in the city, and the man because he hath, listen to this, humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. Now, didn't it say in verse 23 they were just betrothed? But yes, she had sex. Another man came in what we would call modern day, raped her. And she was in the city, and she didn't cry out for somebody to help her. Because she didn't cry out for somebody to help her, and this man did what we call today, raped her, when they're found, both of them are to be put to death. The woman because she didn't cry out, and the man because he humbled another man's wife. Now, you might have been saying, well, I thought you said if there was a virgin, well, I ain't got to that part yet. But she was a virgin. She had never had sex. But she was engaged or betrothed or given to another man. And because of that, the Lord said this man who did have sex with her, who was not the person she was betrothed to or engaged to, Jesus said, kill the man because he's humbled another man's wife. Now, her and the person she was betrothed to hadn't even had sex yet. You understand what I'm saying? They had not even had sex yet. So whenever we make a promise or a vow and we say, will you marry me? And the person says yes, whether it be the man or the woman, these days. Anyway, move right along. And the person says yes, in God's eyes, you have made a promise or a vow or betrothal, then in God's eyes, it's done. He refers to his woman as another man's wife, although they had not yet consummated the marriage. Why? Because she was betrothed or engaged to another man and had sex with another man. All right, let's read on. It says, verse 25, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, or what we call today rape her, and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. Why? It says, but unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her, the betrothed damsel, in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried out, help, help, and there was none to save her. So that was even specifications, even with this woman now, who was betrothed, that a man forced her, raped her, what we call today, and she cried out in the field, and there was nobody to save her. In this case, she would be left alive because she cried out. There was nobody to hear her voice. There was nobody to come to her aid to help her, to rescue her from the man. So the man forced her, and he raped her, and he had sex with another man's wife. So in this case, only the man would be put to death. Now, you might go, whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, right, because if we was living back then, I'd be dead. Because the Lord looked at sex a totally different way than we do. He really does. He looks at sex a totally different way than we do. Now, let's see. Okay. Hey, listen to this. Verse 28 of Deuteronomy 22. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed or engaged, and lay hold on her, now she ain't engaged, and lie with her, and they be found, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. I'm telling you, sex is not free. Even back then, sex was not free. It could cost you your life to have sex. You see what I'm saying? It cost you your life. This woman was not engaged, right, or betrothed to anybody. And a man caught her and lay with her, and they were discovered in the act, and said, oh, that's your wife. No ceremony. Huh? No ceremony. The two became one. You were discovered. That be your wife. Take her on to your house. No, she ain't going back to her daddy's house. She going to your house. Y'all in played house. Now you finna make a house. Anyway, I want to show you that to get a full understanding of sex and how important it is to the Lord. Sex is not free. It's going to always cost you something. I tell you that. That's the title of this teaching. To help you see how serious that Jesus was under the law about sex. And still today. So when I get over to the New Testament and start talking about sex and, New Testament when you're married and being married to, and you're a believer and being married to an unbeliever and things that the Jews could not do under the law of Moses, it's going to really open your eyes, because we need to understand these last days. We met a couple, I won't call their name, been together for 19 years. And they keep saying, well, one day he going to marry me. The woman saying, one day he going to marry me. One day we're going to have a wedding. One day we're going to get some papers, and then we'll be married. And one of the things I want to show y'all, I have to touch on it later, but I just want to say it now. This teachthefacts.org, teachthefacts.org. It's why does the government regulate marriage? And it also gets into reasons why the marriage license came about to stop. Let me see if I can read it right quick. I have to find it again. But really the reason the marriage license came about was to stop United States stop whites from marrying anyone other than another white person. It's a part of our ugly past. Even here in my homeland, Alabama, it was not voted off until the election of 2000, George Bush Jr.'s first term of office, that it was illegal in the state of Alabama for a white and a black person to be married. I think it was put on the books in 1905, and it was finally voted off in the year 2000. So glad to see we're making big changes here, even though we had stopped honoring that a long time ago. I got another state that don't require marriage license. I say to people this: if your state requires you to get a marriage license, get a marriage license. I'm not telling you not to get a marriage license. What I'm telling you is, according to the Bible, if you follow the Bible, sex is not free. You're married, depending on what it is. Now, it's still adultery, not just have sex and you're married. There's still adultery and fornication and whoredom and prostitution and so forth. Excuse me. Move right along. All right, next video.